Hello and welcome to the Big Bad Bike Show, the podcast that has three average blokes sharing their love of bikes and trying to talk about them. I am your host today, the Up North biker, Ash Haw, and as usual, joining me and handing you the news is Chris Chippy Ballard.
Hello.
For all of our avid listeners out there, which is not many, we don't have our usual host Sam, but myself and Chippy will try and do our best for you. If you are listening on YouTube, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell too. That way you won't miss any episodes. So how are you, Chippy?
I'm all good. This is really weird not having Sam here.
It is so strange.
But he is going to be listening to this. He's going to be giving us feedback and telling us how bad we are.
Yeah, there's not going to be any good feedback from this from Sam,
No.
let's face it. I mean,
There's not.
you know, he gets most of his sort of leadership skills from Rommel's tank manual. There you go.
Yes, but he's not here to stop us from messing about and ruining his pod.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm editing it as well, so I can...
You can really mess it up.
yeah, we can just do what we want this week. It's like our parents have gone out for the night and we're just left in the house alone.
Get the paintball guns out.
Yeah.
So, coming up on the show, we've got the all-new Who Am I? We're going to be catching up on the MotoGP at Jerez. And what we know... What?
It's Jerez, not Jerez.
Oh, sorry, Jerez. As usual, everybody knows I'm not good with words. That's just me. And also what we know so far about the BSB at Oulton Park. We are also looking forward to the World Superbikes in Catalonia and the Northwest 200. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be covering today.
Yes. I mean, it says what we know so far about the BSB at Oulton Park. That's because we're recording on Sunday, but because BSB over the bank holiday has the main races on the Monday, due to work commitments, we can't do Monday, so we're kind of going to have to catch up on the BSB next week. But we can talk about qualifying in the sprint race today.
Yeah, we can talk about that, and obviously we can, on next week's show, we can talk, well, say next week, the week after, we can possibly talk about the race for the BSB as well. So yeah, as I said before, unfortunately Sam could not make it this week due to work commitments, but me and Chippy should be able to handle it. There may be a bit more arguing than you used to, and probably a lot more BS than usual. But bear with us, our podcast dad is not here to break it up, so you just need to, just keep listening in. As we know, nobody ever listens past 6 minutes. Let me just check the timer. Oh, no, hold on, we're only 3 minutes in, so there'll still be people listening.
Yeah, I still have one or two.
So, apart from work, what have you been up to, Chippy?
Well, there's a bit of a confession from me. I haven't watched much of the bikes. Well, I have watched most of the bikes. I haven't watched qualifying for Moto2 or Moto3 because the World Snooker Championship's been on, and I've actually got it on now, and I'm watching the final between Mark Selby and Brissell.
Hold on, you've got the snooker on right now?
Yeah, I mean, I got it on silent, but I'm watching the snooker. I've missed loads of it today.
Oh yeah, complete
So
professional this lad. I haven't even got my telly on. I've literally got 100% concentration into this, and you're just fobbing it off.
It's quite a good frame actually at the minute. But yeah, I've been watching that, getting quite into the snooker. I do like the snooker. But I'll tell you what I haven't been doing this week. I haven't been at a barbecue because you had one and didn't invite me round.
Yeah, but it wasn't that type of barbecue where you invite people round. It was just like a last-minute thought. Oh, with the kids, should we have a barbecue? Yeah, let's just go grab some quick stuff and have a barbie. You know?
Well,
First one for
still could have invited me round.
Yeah, but
you could just bought a little bit more. I could have even brought my own food. It could have just been nice to have an invite. I mean, I wouldn't have gone, but it would have been nice to have had an invite.
Yeah, well, I'll invite you to the next one when I have a proper barbie. I want to get all the patio pressure washers and stuff.
I'm not a massive fan of barbecues anyway.
I know. Do you know what I'll do? I'll put loads of effort into getting it all sorted. Get the garden all nice. I'll be like, oh, Chip, do you and Nicola want to come around for a barbecue? Nah.
Yeah, probably not.
That is literally what will happen.
But what have you been up to anyway?
Just recently I have been able to acquire an Africa Twin. Which I've been wanting to ride for ages. It's actually my mum's fella's bike, and he said that I could have a ride on it. So I was going to do the Ninja 300 review this podcast, but I've got something better planned. I'm planning something in the works to go on YouTube, which will be better. So I'm going to be cracking out my GoPro and getting some footage. And, Ninja 300 is a great bike, but I think people will be more interested in listening about the Africa Twin 1100.
Is that not what you had in Cyprus? The Ninja 300?
It is, yeah. That's the Ninja 300 I had out there. It's a great little bike, that was.
You did.
Really
it was
cool.
alright, actually.
But obviously I had to sell it. And also, I got myself a new hoodie.
Right.
Showing my support for Russell Road Racing in the TT.
Yeah. I'm not going to buy one, but I'll be keeping my eye on him. Well, because I'm tight enough now, possibly. Well, no, I have got a mortgage coming up that I'm going to be...
Oh, what, for the house that you bought that you didn't tell me about?
Yeah, the one that I didn't tell you about because... Yeah. It was a secret back then.
Oh, it wasn't a secret when it was plastered over Facebook, though, and I heard it from someone else. But yeah, on that, so I've got a Russell Road Racing hoodie, and all the proceeds of that go towards Michael Russell. It's weird calling him Michael Russell. I know him as Jack, so it's be nice to help Jack out with the TT anyway, a bit of funding for that.
Yeah.
That's all I've been doing, really, except from work. Obviously, a cheeky little bank holiday, which is cool.
Well, I'm glad it was for you. I was working. I've just finished a 12-hour shift.
Uh-huh.
And I'm in tomorrow night as well for the bank holiday Monday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And are you in work for the... are you going to be in work for the coronation as well?
Yes, I'm on a day shift for that.
I'm off for that too.
So some of us actually work for a living. Anyway, we're not going to bicker.
No, come on. This is what's happening.
We've got to pretend that Sam's here breaking us up.
I'm off for a shire. Oh, I can't do an Irish accent. I'm going for a shire. Oh, God. Big Daz is going to hate me now as well. So, have we got any feedback from last week?
There wasn't really that I've heard. The only thing was about the editing, which I'm just going to say to you, Ash, thank you for hitting record, because it was so much better editing last week. It was so much easier. And I actually did the whole episode. I didn't just do 12 minutes.
Yeah, because you didn't have to do it on OBS. Do you know, literally as you just said that, even though I know I hit record, I absolutely shat myself and just put up Audacity there to make sure I was recording.
Yeah, I just made sure I've hit record as well. We're at 7 minutes now, nobody's listening anymore.
Get to the end of it, and it's just like, I didn't hit record again. Oh, God. I haven't received any feedback either. I only hear stuff like word of mouth, but we're not allowed to talk about that because obviously it hasn't been come through the email.
Yeah.
So I suppose we'll move on to the Who Am I from last week.
Yes. Oh, it was mine last week, wasn't it?
This was yours, and I guessed it right, didn't I?
No, you didn't guess it right. You Googled it and then
I didn't Google
made out like it was guessed. You're like, oh, I think it might be. And then it was
You
clearly...
told me when we were around at yours at racing that he'd won the 2009 European Superstock.
No, I didn't, because I didn't know that till last week.
Yeah, but
anyway, the clues were... I was born in London in 1989. The second clue was I won the 2009 European Superstock 600 Championship. And the third and final clue was I have also competed in World Supersport, Moto2 and the Endurance World Championship. And it was Gino Rea.
It was, and I answered that right.
Yeah, but the thing is, he was on one of the MotoGP programmes the other day. And I was like, oh, there's Gino Rea. And you're like, who's that? And I'd sit there and explain to you. I was like, oh, I used to race in BSB. And
yeah, but you told me who he was. You told me that he won the European Superstock.
No, I didn't say that. I said he had a massive crash. I think it was at the endurance race. He had a massive crash. And he was like really badly injured. I'd never mentioned European Superstock because I never knew he won it.
You definitely did.
So are we going to have a confession? That you Googled it?
No, I didn't Google it.
Just a little confession?
Just a little confession. Want to talk about it? The fuck was that?
You definitely did Google it though.
I didn't. Big Dazza, as usual, our only fan, he once again answered, but he did the same this week as he did with me last week. He had to Google it.
You had to. Oh yes.
So it's now me and you that have conquered.
I'm surprised you didn't get that.
Well,
I mean, I don't know Big Dazza. I don't know where his speciality is with bikes. But
I like how we keep calling him Big Dazza, and Sam's not even here this time, and apparently he hates being called Big Dazza. So Big Dazza, we're really, really sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Big Dazza.
We really do appreciate your support, Dazza. You're literally like the only person that listens.
Yeah, or the only person that gets in touch.
Yeah. And Sam is the only person to conquer him now, basically. He's the only one to make him Google. That's like it's like my little task every week now.
Yeah. Well, me and you have beaten him. Sam hasn't beaten him yet. And I don't think he's going to with this week's either, because Sam sent the clues in for us to read out. So I'll let you do the honours. Okay,
so the clues... Oh, God. I've just read the clues. So the clues this week... I was born in Belfast in 1964. In 2001, I won the race in the Netherlands on board a 250 Aprilia. And I once appeared in a movie playing the supporting role alongside Scarlett Johansson. Okay. Extra points if you know the movie title. Obviously, if they're born in Belfast, Big Daz's probably going to know it, because they're both Irish, aren't they? But that's obviously not me being obviously racist or anything. They are Irish. I once appeared in a movie, played the supporting role alongside Scarlett Johansson. See, when I think of Scarlett Johansson, all I'm thinking of is like the Marvel movies, but I don't think that's what it'll be. It'll be some sort of like rom-com chick flick or something.
My knowledge of films, as you know, is really bad.
Yeah, it is pretty
I wouldn't be able
terrible
to say who Scarlett Johansson is, and I definitely wouldn't be able to get the film or this Who Am I, so I'm going to have to Google this one as well.
I think you should Google Scarlett Johansson first.
Well,
surely you know who she is.
I don't recognise her. She's not all that. I thought she'd be...
Yeah, but you need to see her in like Avengers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not into that stuff. You know I don't like superhero stuff.
I know you don't like superhero stuff, but anyway.
Exactly the same.
Anyways, if you would like to contact us, you can email us at podcast@bigbadbs.co.uk. And if you don't want to leave your name, you can use a pseudonym. The more bizarre, the better. And you can also follow us on Twitter. Just search the Big Bad BS, all one word, in the search, and you will find it. You could leave a comment on YouTube, and also we've got our Facebook group as well, which is probably the more popular one, I'd say.
Yeah, the Facebook group is.
Yeah, that's probably what we've got most members on. Mind you, some people have started putting some stuff on there now.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit more interaction, which is good. That's what we need. We need people interacting, because it kind of makes it more fun.
It does make it more fun.
And it also makes us feel like, people are actually listening to us.
Well, this is why I want to make that hoodie for when we go to the BSB.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I was doing that, and then I got distracted. Yeah, I made
because then, we'll find out where they're recording, like doing the interviews, and I can stand in the background, like thumbs up, pointing at the old Big Bad Bike Show logo.
Yeah.
See if we can get some people. I could do something really extravagant, like take my trousers off or something, you know.
You could run on the track. Actually, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Get absolutely blacklisted from everywhere. Yeah, let's not do that. We're not condoning them kind of actions. No. Should we crack on with the news then?
Shall we? Right, so for once, I actually have quite a bit of news.
This is good.
Yeah, for a change. The last few weeks have been quite dry.
It's been quite bare, hasn't it? And anything I've come up with clearly wasn't good enough. So your stories were crap. Anyway, but unfortunately, all the news I've got this week isn't all good. So I'm going to start off with the bad stuff and then finish off with the better news. Yeah, I think that's probably better.
Yes. So the first bong. Firstly, the inquest into Keith Farmer's death has heard he took his own life after retiring from the sport and was also struggling with the breakdown of his relationship with his long-term partner, who he had 2 children with. I don't want to go into too much because it's not a nice thing to talk about, and if you do want to find out about the inquest and what's happened, there's news articles online about it. Obviously, it's a shame what happened, but I think it's important everyone remembers how much of a top bloke he was.
Yeah.
And probably a good time to remind everyone, if they are struggling, please reach out and talk to someone.
Absolutely.
Yes, but I think in the sort of motorbike world, or racing world in general, I think it's becoming more of a bigger thing, mental health, because I've heard of a lot of stories of like riders and stuff when they finish and they struggle with sort of how to replace the racing and stuff like that, and they struggle with like depression and stuff. But I'm not going to go into it too much because I don't know a lot about it, and I don't want to like.
Well, it's like I know it's obviously off topic because it's not bikes, but it's like Tyson Fury. He obviously kept. We went and watched his last fight, and he said he was retiring, and then but he had to come back because he became depressed.
Yeah,
because he just didn't know what to do with his time. All he wants to do is just carry on scrapping. I'm kind of glad he did in a way because we get Tyson Fury back. But
yeah, I love Tyson Fury.
He's class, isn't he?
I could watch him all the time.
I know, he's brilliant.
Anyway, the next bong. The next not so nice bit of news is someone that we talk about quite regularly on the pod, Johnny Garnes. Vision Track Racing confirmed this week that he suffered a fractured skull and bleeding on the brain following a crash and testing in Estoril. He high-sided and was struck by another rider while he was on the ground. Surgeons have said he shouldn't require surgery, which is a positive in this story. But the team has asked for everyone to respect his family's privacy.
Naturally, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I've heard he's awake and talking and that. He doesn't remember anything about the crash. And
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I think it was 3 bleeds on the brain he had.
Wow. How old is he?
14 or 15, I think.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, young lad. But I mean, because he is a young lad, he'll probably bounce back.
I'm hoping he does because he's a really class little rider, really.
Yeah. I mean, I was at Knock Hill when Casey O'Gorman, he had a massive crash on the first corner.
I remember you saying about that.
Yeah, me and my sister and that, we were just stood there and like, that's a really nasty crash. But I mean, he just, I think he fractured a few bones in that, but they're just kids, aren't they? They just bounce back from it, so
yeah, they're just
hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, fingers crossed.
Unlike
he's going to be all right.
Unlike obviously Marquez, who obviously now these days he spreads some jam on his toast and he breaks his finger.
Because he's an OAP, I suppose. Not quite as old as Rossi,
what was
though.
Sam calling him last week? Senor Gasso or something?
Yeah.
Mr. Glass.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh well, I hope he gets better soon, and it'd be nice to see him back on a bike. I don't think it'll be any time soon, like, but
no, it's a shame. I mean, I don't know if British Talent Cup's at Oulton Park this weekend. I don't think it is. I haven't seen it, but I might be wrong. But yes, give us another bowl. The Kazakhstan round of the MotoGP has been cancelled for this year due to homologation, I hate that word, issues at the circuit, along with current global operational challenges. It now means that 2023 won't be the longest ever MotoGP season, as Kazakhstan won't be replaced. It also now means there'll be a 5-week summer break, and Kazakhstan will now debut in the 2024 season, as it stands. There's also doubts over the Indian GP round as well. But as it stands, it will be going ahead, meaning we'll have a 20-round season and 40 races, obviously with the sprint races.
Yeah.
But this is the 8th country in 8 years to have signed a deal with Dorna and then failed to host the race.
Oh, but I wonder why.
I don't know. Apparently Wales was one of them. I don't remember that. In 2016, I don't know if that was World Superbikes.
You know why it's been pulled out of Kazakhstan, don't you? Because this suit is not black.
That whole episode would have just been Borat quotes the whole time.
I like you.
I'm so good.
It really would have
been.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been very. I don't think we would have had many Kazakhs listening in.
No.
Is that what you call somebody from Kazakhstan? Are they called a Kazakh?
They are. They're called Kazakhs.
Oh, that's good then. That's okay. You would have thought that these countries that have signed a deal with Dorna, they'd be absolutely itching to get people racing there.
Well, yeah.
Because it's going to bring so much money into the country.
Yeah, and a lot of these countries that have failed, they're not massive countries. I mean, you've got Wales, Indonesia in 2019, obviously they host it now. There's Finland, Northern Ireland, Russia, I mean, they've got plenty of money.
Brazil.
Brazil,
I've never heard of a racetrack in Wales.
well, there's Anglesey. I told you it's the British Phillip Island.
Yeah, of course you did.
It's the best, one of the best tracks in Britain, I think.
Oh.
Certainly the prettiest.
It does look nice on the photo, I must admit. Yeah, you would have thought that these countries would be like, well, yeah, let's crack on with it. We're going to have the MotoGP here.
Yeah, get loads of money.
Oh, imagine if they did it. It would be class if they did a, Anglesey, like you say, in Wales, Northern Ireland. That means there's 3 that we could watch in this country, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, obviously in the UK. That would be brilliant.
Yeah, it really would. And I don't know if it would be Anglesey. I mean, it's... I've not really seen the track. I've only sort of seen pictures of it, but
maybe
they can make it wide enough.
Maybe it's Dorna doing it. Maybe it's they're requiring too much.
Maybe.
And then you've also got to think: do they have the right infrastructure to like accommodate all them people that would be coming?
Or maybe nobody wants to go to Wales because I don't like Wales.
What's wrong with Wales?
I hate Wales.
Oh. Okay.
Actually, no, it's not Wales I hate, it's the Welsh. I'm sorry if we've got any Welsh listeners. I doubt we have, but I hate the Welsh.
What about James?
No, James, yeah. Well, no, it's not really the Welsh people. It's the Welsh accent I hate. And the weather. And how proud they are of their country. It just annoys me.
Is that why you hate all those Yorkshire people as well, then?
Yeah, probably is, actually, because you're proud of where you're from. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's that I hate.
So you're telling me you're not proud of where you come from?
No, it's different for me.
Well, yeah, because you're from Birmingham. I won't be proud of being coming from there either.
Anyway, we're going off topic.
We are. Another bong.
Another bong. The penalties for breaking tyre pressure rules were supposed to be introduced in Jerez, but now it will be at least Mugello. This is in MotoGP, obviously. And there's people in the paddock saying they don't think these penalties will ever happen. I'll be honest, I don't really understand these rules. Apparently they're controversial. But Michelin are worried about anyone running a pressure too low will cause tyre failures, which is apparently why they're not just letting the teams and the riders choose the pressures for themselves.
See, I just think that's daft. They should be able to choose the tyre pressures.
They should, but also if they want to introduce these penalties, how hard is it to do? It's not hard to measure a tyre pressure, and then if they're not in the regulations or whatever, just give them a penalty. Yeah, if you're going to do it, just do it.
Yeah, but when are they going to monitor? Surely they'll have to go around and check everybody's tyre pressure before they go.
Yeah, or when they get back, or just pick people at random.
You can't do it when they get back because they could have lost tyre pressure.
I don't know. I don't know if it's before or after the race. I thought it was after the race they check.
I'm not sure. I think that's a bit ridiculous myself.
Maybe that's why it's controversial.
I mean, I get there's obviously health and safety aspects to the tyre and what the limit of the tyre will do. But like I mentioned before, such as Michael Russell, Russell Road Racing, he told me the tyre pressures that he uses in his bikes when he's racing on the road. And he, obviously I know that's road racing, it's a bit different, but he has always stuck with them tyre pressures, and that's whether he's on the road racing or he's on the road just on his normal bike.
Yeah.
I think everybody should be able to choose their own tyre pressures. They're not going to be that far out anyway.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, each rider's going to weigh differently.
Yeah. Or have parameters, say it's got to be between this much and this much, and it's up to you to choose. Have like a sort of minimum safe level, whatever. Yeah,
because obviously a taller rider is going to be heavier.
Yeah.
And then they're getting, obviously, penalised for being tall. Anyway, I don't really understand it either, but I think she should be able to choose their own bloody tyre pressures myself.
Yes. Another bomb? So that's 4 pieces of negative news. Now it's time for a little bit of good news. Dorna have announced there'll be a new all-female class to follow the World Superbike Series from 2024. It'll be a one-make series that will span 6 rounds across Europe, and they're likely to be using middleweight capacity twin-cylinder production bikes. Now, I think this is really good. It's good for motorsport, it's good for women, it's good for everybody.
Hold on, you're liking something that's good for women?
I've got... See, I knew you were going to spin this back on me. It's good It's good for everybody. And
So do you think Anna Carrasco should leave Moto3 and go for this World Superbike Series?
Well, I don't think she should be in Moto3. I don't think she's deserved, especially after, if she doesn't improve by the end of this season drastically, I don't think she's deserved herself another ride in Moto3.
But she does deserve to go to Moto3 because she won the World Superbike 300 Series.
Well, yeah, but now she's made that step back to Moto3. She hasn't done anything, so she's going to have to make a step somewhere else. And I think that would be the perfect place for her to go.
She's definitely earned the right to be in Moto3. Obviously, she's not
performing
where she should do.
Yeah, she earned the chance to have a go, but she's...
Well, do you
think
that she should go into this then?
I think she should, and I think it will probably inspire a lot of girls and women to go into it and try and beat her.
Can I change the bet to
the
World Superbike Series in 2024?
No, because I'd probably put money on her winning that championship.
One extreme to the other.
Yeah.
She ain't getting a point this season. Oh, she's going to win.
But she'll be... I'm pretty sure that it'll be like a proper world championship. Whoever wins it will be known as a world champion.
Well, that's pretty cool, actually.
It is good. I
hope it does well, and I'll be looking forward to watching it.
It's a shame it's only 6 rounds across Europe.
Yeah,
it's
I wonder
not
why it's only
a
6
very
rounds.
big championship. I don't know whether they can. Surely they can.
Maybe it's because of time. I don't know, because obviously they've got the World Superbike 300 series, they've got the Superstock and the Superbikes, haven't they?
Yeah.
So maybe it's just time thing. Maybe they'll have more times at different tracks.
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows?
We'll see it play out in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Another bong? Final bit of news. Hardly a surprise. Ash will be loving this. Valentino Rossi has been made an official Yamaha brand ambassador.
Well, it's about time, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's not really a surprise, but it has fueled a few rumours that the VR46 team will be switching from Ducati to Yamaha. Because Yamaha wants a satellite team. But if you were running the VR46 team, why would you switch from a Ducati to a Yamaha? With how much Yamaha's struggling and how good the Ducati is.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really bad move.
That would
at the moment, because Yamaha are having some right issues.
Yeah,
the only 2 bike manufacturers at the moment that seem to be performing is Ducati and KTM.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they're going to leave Ducati, KTM's the obvious choice, surely, at the minute.
Do you know what? Even though I know Rossi is now becoming this Yamaha brand ambassador, but it's Valentino Rossi, who is Italian. It's his team on Italian bikes.
Yeah. And they're all Italian riders.
And they're Italian riders. I think it makes sense to keep it with Ducati.
Yeah.
Because Ducati aren't going to want to leave the VR46 team.
No, you wouldn't have thought so.
No, I think it would be best if they stuck with the Ducatis. But who knows what will happen. If they're going to switch it to a Yamaha satellite team, then they need to pull the finger out of their ass, really.
Yeah.
And get them Yamahas sorted.
I mean, Yamaha really do want a satellite team back. So it's surely going to have to be one of the Ducati teams that are going to have to switch to them.
Yeah, because there's more Ducatis than anything else now, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's an interesting thought.
Very interesting.
And I'm surprised you've got it as good news, considering it's Valentino Rossi.
Oh, for God's sake, I love Rossi. I love seeing him there this weekend.
No, it was nice to see him, and it was really nice to obviously see him give Bagnaia away and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
But that is the end of the news.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. And the news.
Do-do-do-do.
Right, so should we go into the racing then? Or are we talking about qualifying? Because I didn't catch an awful lot of that.
I only saw MotoGP qualifying. I didn't see Moto2 or Moto3.
I didn't actually make any notes for the qualifying. Oh, did I make any notes for the qualifying? I think I might have.
I don't think I did.
Let me just have a little check.
Was I watching the snooker?
This is a bike show. We just watch snooker.
I did watch qualifying. I just can't remember anything. It can't have been that exciting.
I don't think it was, to be honest. No, I haven't got anything on it.
Oh, hang on. Was it not? No, it was. It was good because it started to rain and there's people going out on wets, and then it was basically whoever was going to be last across the line was going to get the best timing, I think, or something like that. I can't fully remember, if I'm honest.
Mm.
I should have written it down, which is the whole point of this notes page.
It is, yeah.
Lesson learned. I'll write it down next time.
Yeah, but
sorry,
such
Sam.
as today... Yeah, sorry, Sam. Such as today, we were fighting over the bloody notes page. So, yeah, well, there you go. Well, we may as well talk about the sprint race at least.
Shall we?
Because I did take notes for the sprint race.
Yeah, I took a few.
What did you think of the sprint then, overall?
I actually thought it was a very good sprint race. Probably one of the best sprint races we've had.
It was really good. I mean, what is going on with them KTMs at the moment? They're off the line. They are unreal.
Yeah.
They're just... I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of a GP bike. Do they come with launch control?
Yeah,
I imagine they do.
Yeah, they've all got the... I can't think what they call it now. Whole shot device, is that what it's called?
Yeah. But the KTMs, just when you see them all lined up, and at first you think, oh, it's just going to be the Ducatis take off. But the KTMs are just like, no.
Yeah.
Off we go.
I mean, I wrote it down somewhere else in the notes, I think. That I think KTM have got the best rider lineup out of everybody. With Brad Binder, Jack Miller and Pedrosa. Because Pedrosa is easily the best test rider there is.
Absolutely.
I think Miller is always the best sort of number 2 rider. He's always the best teammate because he'll always help out the number 1 rider.
Yeah.
And Brad Binder is just something else this year.
He's really grown on me, Binder. He's really, really good to watch. He pings it the whole way. I mean, that can sort of hinder him a little bit with tyre wear. Well, it hinders him a lot with tyre wear.
Yes.
But he's so good to watch. It's so entertaining. And obviously, Pedrosa being a test rider, I mean, he's 37 years old, and he got 6th place in the sprint race.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's brilliant.
I wonder if Repsol Honda regret letting him go.
Well, yeah, they probably do now. Because imagine if he, obviously with Marc Marquez having his injury and being away from that bike for so long, if they'd had Pedrosa there, they would have had more time for him to test it.
I mean, what is Stefan Bradl doing? He's no good. I'm not a massive fan of Bradl.
I'm not either.
Surely he's not the best test rider they could get. Sure.
Yeah. Well,
should have stuck with Pedrosa, but it's too late now.
Well, yeah. I mean, KTM aren't going to lose him now, and he's happy at KTM as a test rider as well. I mean, why you wouldn't get rid of him?
No.
Because him and Jack Miller, obviously. I mean, Jack Miller's got to be KTM number 1 rider, surely. No,
I think Binder's number 1. Jack Miller is the best teammate. He will help the other rider out. He'll give him pointers and that. I don't think he's one of them that needs to be the number 1 rider. I think he's happy helping out the team.
He doesn't need to be, winning. But I think with his experience, I would still say that Jack Miller's the number 1.
Do you reckon? I'm going to go Brad Binder personally.
I do love Brad Binder. I think he's great, but I'd have to say that Jack Miller has got to be their number 1 rider.
But yeah, it was a 1-2 in the sprint race before.
It was, yeah.
We had that nasty-looking crash with Morbidelli, Alex Marquez, Augusto Fernandez and Bezzecchi, wasn't it?
It was bad, and that was all because of... Well, so there's a bit of controversy on it, isn't there? Because they're saying that it was... Morbidelli got a penalty, didn't he?
He got a long lap penalty in the main race on Sunday.
It was just a race incident.
Well, I looked at the penalty, like on the bit of paper it comes on, it said he was being ambitious. But that describes most overtakes. Yeah, it describes most overtakes. Being ambitious. There was a gap there. He went for it.
Yeah, of course he did. And obviously...
It was a racing incident.
Yeah, and he wiped everybody, all them with 3 riders out, including himself. But I think it was a bit unfair to give him a long lap penalty on that.
Yeah, and Yamaha appealed it.
They started the race again anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, Yamaha appealed it, which was unsuccessful. But yeah, I think that was really harsh, personally.
Well, yeah, then we got Yamaha have been pretty unsuccessful this whole entire weekend, if you ask me, with long lap penalties.
The whole season, really.
I honestly don't think that was fair. But
no.
It got red flagged regardless, and obviously they started again, which was good for Maverick Vinales because he had a shite start.
Yeah.
He had a really, really bad start, and I bet he was just thinking, because he obviously got held up by it all, didn't he?
Yeah.
He must have been thinking, oh yeah, nice, get another go at it, like, because he's never been very good with his starts, has he?
No.
You always see him practicing his starts.
Where did he finish in the sprint race? I can't even remember where he finished now.
I don't think he was too far back.
Was he not? I can't remember. He was kind of like a grey man all weekend. I don't really remember seeing him much at all. He was never really involved in anything.
No. I mean,
until the very last lap of the main race.
There was a hell of a lot of riders hitting track limits. They were all really... It started off with one or two riders, and then all of a sudden, like, you saw on the screen, there was about 10 riders hitting the limit. They were all really pushing.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed this weekend. I think they've all been proper scrapping.
It has been good. It has been a pretty good weekend, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, that second... Well, sorry, the sprint restart... it was Miller on the last lap, wasn't it? Which he went wide and let Bagnaia through, who took second.
Yeah.
But yeah, all three factory KTMs in the top 6 in qualifying and in the sprint race.
I'm telling you now, I
going.
cannot believe how far KTM have come in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it now. I think that Ducati should be worried. Because even when you see them on the straights, usually you see the Ducatis pulling away from stuff.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to be gaining that much on the straights from KTM.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago when people were like, oh, no, you don't want to go to KTM. Like, KTM was sort of like the last place you go to.
Yeah, exactly. It was like...
And then it was Aprilia, and now it's like they're two of the best bikes to be on, really. Definitely. It's Honda and Yamaha that everyone's avoiding.
I know, yeah. They've obviously reigned for years, haven't they?
Yeah.
But I suppose it had to happen to the other manufacturers eventually.
Yeah, and they'll bounce back eventually. But
they will do, yeah, because...
This just happens, doesn't it? Ducati will struggle eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was basically... That kind of covers all the sprint, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There was a few crashes. Alex Marquez crashed out on lap with 8 laps left.
Yes, he did.
Also, Tako Nakagami did.
There's a surprise.
Poor lad. You know what? I do like him. I don't know why.
He's had his chance and he hasn't taken it.
He has. Obviously, we were discussing this earlier, weren't we, about Taka Nakagami and his future and possible ride for other people. Paul Espargaro as well. He crashed out on turn 9 in sprint.
Well, Paul Espargaro didn't.
Sorry, not Paul Espargaro, Aleix Espargaro. It's even written right in front of me. I just actually read that.
Yes.
But for some reason, whenever I see Espargaro, I think of Paul Espargaro.
We're going to talk about the Moto2 in a bit, and you're going to say that Alex Slows won the race.
Yeah, because obviously I don't know which is which.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Alex Slows just nipped over from World Superbikes and decided to spin around on a Moto2 bike. And then decided to go up to the paddock and do a bit of commentating.
Yes.
But even though obviously Pedrosa finished 6th in that race, the fighting between him and Oliveira was brilliant.
Yeah, it was good actually. I was quite impressed with Oliveira this weekend.
Yeah, he was really good. Considering he's been bloody injured. And
I think he's a good rider.
Joan Mir.
What a shocker he's having, isn't he, this season?
Oh my God. Crashed again. And again.
It's that bike. It must be the bike.
He's having a really, really difficult time on that Repsol Honda. And
it's got to be the worst bike on the grid.
It really has to be.
Certainly
I don't know. I don't know. Well, at least no, because I was going to say Yamaha, but then I'm thinking, well, at least Yamaha are actually finishing races.
Well, they got a podium, didn't they? Was it Quartararo got a podium? Did Morbidelli get one as well? I think at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Or second race, something like that.
But obviously, we had what's his face on the Repsol, didn't we? Iker Lecuona.
Oh, yeah. You really like him, don't you?
I do. I really like him. And you don't know why, but I just don't know. I like. Well, let's in World Supers, I like watching how he races that Honda.
I mean, I don't dislike him. It's another one of them really average riders that you seem to like Alex Rins.
Alex Rins is a good rider.
He is a good rider, but he's like, he's not special. And he's not bad. He's just the in-betweener.
The in-betweeners. Now, I know this is a little bit off topic, as we always do. But did I dream it, or did I read somewhere that Suzuki were coming back to MotoGP?
No, I think you dreamt that.
Yeah, I think I maybe did. That's what I thought I'd ask it, because I was just about to say, it'd be great, obviously, when Suzuki come back to MotoGP, Alex Rins could just piss off back there. But I must have dreamt that. I think it was just wishful thinking.
Yes. I'll just have a quick confirmatory look on Twitter. I can't see anything about it.
I must have dreamt it. Wishful thinking. I miss the Suzuki. I miss Alex Rins on the Suzuki. I thought it was brilliant. Such a shame. But going back to Brad Binder in that sprint race, I mean, some of the angle shots, the shots of when he was going around the corner, it was like he was riding a bloody speedway bike.
Yeah.
It was sliding, and I mean,
there was a lot of sideways action this weekend, wasn't
it? Really
Mainly
was.
from Brad Binder.
But it's because he's so aggressive with it.
Yeah.
And that's why he's just good to watch, because he's so in sync with that KTM. The way he came up to that corner, he was sort of shifting forward but moving out slightly as he was going around. I don't know if that was just tyre wear. I think it was probably tyre wear because it was towards the end of the sprint. But I was sort of like biting my fingernails thinking, Jesus Christ, don't be doing that. Good to watch though.
Yeah. I don't know how many other bikes would be able to take that.
No.
Repsol Honda, you just think that would just fall over.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously we always go back to Marquez, but Marquez in his prime, he probably could.
Yeah, that's true.
Because when his bike tends to go over, he just used to stick his elbow out and hold it up.
Yeah.
But
I don't think today's Repsol Honda could do that.
No, absolutely not. It's so far behind, and it's such a shame because I do like the bike.
Yeah.
And obviously I like Honda as a manufacturer, but there you go. I think that pretty much covers the sprint, doesn't it?
Yes.
Unless you can think of anything else.
No.
But it was a really good sprint race.
It was.
I really enjoyed it. Cool. Do you want to go on to Moto3 and work up to MotoGP, or do you want to start with MotoGP?
Just go to Moto3, just to sort of chuck it, shuffle it about a bit.
We'll go to Moto3. So, is this when we started fighting over the dock?
It might have been, yes. Well, basically, we've got this shared document, which we can all edit, and we can all see each other editing it, but we were both editing it at the same time, and we were both putting the same things on there, but the thing is, Ash was a little bit ahead of me, so he was writing stuff on there that I hadn't seen yet, so he was like, oh, so-and-so's just crashed, and I was getting really annoyed with him, because I hadn't seen it, and he knows to not tell me what happens before I've seen it.
Yeah, but
we had a bit of an argument.
The thing is,
earlier.
though, obviously because I was ahead, I had to wait to put what I wanted onto the dock. And then by the time, but I was literally sat there with a phone in my hand, ready to type it in, or press the buttons.
30 seconds. I said,
but the problem is, I waited 30
wait 30 seconds and then write it.
Yeah, but I waited 30 seconds and you wrote what I was going to put, so I was sat there for no reason.
Although then I did have the idea about 4 hours later, I could just write all my stuff at the bottom, you write it at the top, and then we'll just mix it at the end.
Yeah, well, eventually you did that.
Yeah.
But for
anyway,
everybody...
Moto3.
Yeah, but before we get onto that, for everybody listening, as you know, Chippy every week complains that I don't put enough into this word doc. And the one time I actually think, oh, do you know what, I'm going to put some stuff in. Oh, no, you can't do that. You can't do that, governor.
I've deleted a lot of crap that you put on there today as well.
Well, you shouldn't have.
Well, there was a lot of rubbish.
There wasn't. It was adequate
there
points.
Was. We'd have been here for about 8 hours talking about the stuff that you put in.
Not wrong with
that. Anyway, Moto3.
Moto3, okay. KTM's again. Brilliant start.
Yeah.
I mean, they obviously got up there straight away.
They didn't finish that well, though, did they? Didn't Rueda have a crash?
No, I mean, Holgado. I believe Holgado did, didn't he?
Where did he finish? Did he not have a penalty? Didn't they both get penalties? I can't remember now.
There was a lot of hitting track limits again in Moto 2.
It's the thing, I should have written it down, but I didn't. I was at work in my defence.
Yeah, you were. I will mention David Salvador.
Yes.
He had a really, really bad high side. Did you see the replay of that?
Yeah, it looked nasty.
I mean, he did a full-on somersault.
Yeah.
Luckily, he landed on his feet. He did get stretchered out there. But
I haven't had any updates from him. Let me just have a look online, see if there's any updates.
No, there is no updates. But I hope he's okay. I'm sure he will be. But God, it was a hell of a high side. It was really nasty to watch. Obviously, our lass, Anna Carrasco did well. Back at the back.
Did she? Did she really? Did she do well? Where did she finish, Ash?
22nd, I think.
22nd. That's out the points, isn't it?
It's only 7 places off.
It's still 0 points.
Please, so Hannah, get a point.
Have you looked at your blood donation website?
No, I haven't.
I can send you a link.
Oh, can you?
Book an appointment on there.
Season's not over yet, Sunshine. It's only just started.
You
never know.
Ivan Ortola, he got his 2nd win in a row, which I would never have picked him for the start of the season to be a title contender. But
no, I wouldn't have either.
You've got to say, he's 2nd win in a row. He's probably going to be putting himself up there.
Yeah.
Well, it's very early days yet, and
But he was scrapping really well with Holgado and Onshu at the very start.
Yeah.
Moto3 is Moto3, innit? They're always scrapping. And that's why at the start of a race, with Moto3, you think, oh, yeah, he's doing really well. But it's like that can all change so quickly.
Yeah.
Because of the power on them 250s, they need people slipstream.
Yeah, they do.
And it can all change. And that's what I love about Moto3. It's always really scrappy.
Yeah. It's proper racing.
Yamanaka had a bit of a... Did you see him have a bit of a bitch fit on his bike?
Yeah, what happened with that?
So I believe...
I was a bit busy at that point.
He, at first, I reckon he thought his gear lever was broken. Because he was looking down at it, down at his gear lever, and he was smacking his bike. And I was thinking, oh no, his gear lever's gone. But then I thought that was him out of the race. But then as I was watching the Moto3 further on, I saw he was back, like, sort of fighting for a place. I'm thinking, oh, he must have just maybe slipped on his gear lever. Which is obviously crap when that happens. I mean, it happened to, but it didn't slip, but Pedro Acosta last meet, he put it into neutral, didn't he? And it can be easily done. Can be really easily done when you're changing gear. But I always thought they had quick shifters on these bikes.
I've no idea. I don't know how bikes work. I just like watching them.
They do have quick shifters on them, so it's. But then I suppose if your foot slips off it, you can't really help it. Like I say, there was a lot of people hitting track limits.
Yep, there was
a couple of crashes. Keita Toba, he crashed out.
Yeah.
And am I saying this right? Because I'm always shy at saying it. Colin Vigier?
Via.
There you go. The Vision. Via. He crashed out, but he managed to rejoin, luckily.
Yeah. But the Spanish John McPhee got a podium.
What's his Spanish name? Juan McPhee.
Juan McPhee, yes.
Juan McPhee.
Yes, Jaume Masia. Yeah, got a podium. I was quite chuffed with him because I picked him to win the weekend. I can't remember who Sam said. I think it was Anna Carrasco or something.
Yeah.
Scott Ogden finished 12th, keeping a lookout for the Brits, and Josh Watley 24th, which I don't think he'll be too happy with.
No.
But
he's new. He needs time to
been
settle
in. He was in it last year. He's had a whole year and a bit now to settle in, but I don't know. I think he needs to start improving soon. But he's a young lad. They see potential in him. What do I know? I don't know anything.
We know nothing.
Yes. But Joel Kelso was back.
Ah! Did he open his eyes this time?
I think he must have gone to Specsavers because he didn't run into anybody this time. And Sam wasn't here to defend him, so...
No.
It's our podcast now, Sam. I'm the captain now.
Joe Kelso.
Yes.
Oh dear. So I've got nothing much else to talk about on Moto3.
That's all I've got for Moto3.
But it was good. I enjoyed it.
It was an alright race, yeah.
I'd probably say out of all the races this weekend, it was probably my least favourite. I don't know. My least favourite, is that the words to use?
Mm.
It was good. I enjoyed it. It was scrappy.
Yeah.
But it always is in Moto3, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's move on to Moto2 then, shall we?
Yes.
Now, I didn't make many notes on this because we were arguing quite a lot.
Yeah, but I made a few. I'm gutted I missed qualifying because I saw Jake Dixon and Sam Lowes were both on the front row. If I'd known that was going to happen, I'd have watched it.
It was nice to see Jake and Sam qualifying up on the front row. And it was nice to see them complete a warm-up lap.
Yeah, no Brits fell off this weekend on a warm-up lap.
I'm completely joking. That was awful. That was awful the other week when that happened. Sorry, Jake.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be happening, really, should it?
It shouldn't, no. But obviously, all was well this week, and I'm obviously glad he managed to get round.
Yes.
So obviously, I think you deserve to give somebody an apology, Chippy.
I owe an apology, don't I? This is more Sam's orders that I owe an apology.
But I think I would have said it this as well if Sam hadn't told you.
Yeah. Because was it last week that I said that Sam Lowes needs to retire or go to World Superbikes or even British Superbikes?
Yeah, you did.
But obviously he had a good weekend. He got pole position and he won the race. I don't know if he got the fastest lap. I didn't check that. But he had a brilliant weekend. Beat everybody. Even Pedro Acosta was like, that guy is fast.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, Sam, which Sam Lowes this is, which I highly doubt you are, I'm very sorry. And I'm glad he won. I'm genuinely so happy he won.
I am.
It was a bit nerve-wracking though, wasn't it?
Oh God! Like towards the end, I was thinking, "Do not spin it. Do not spin it."
3 laps to go.
I'm thinking,
and you're just thinking, yeah.
I was sat there like with just my elbow on my knee and my head in my hand, and just watching it with one eye.
Yeah.
Just absolutely
I was just thinking,
breaking myself.
If you knew Pedro Acosta was behind you,
yeah.
I mean, you can't relax, can you?
But he had a fair old gap on him, though.
He did, and it was growing, wasn't it?
It was growing. I mean, he had a few slip-ups where Pedro managed to catch up, because obviously Pedro's very consistent. But, yeah, he made that gap towards the end. It was quite a big gap over the line.
Yeah.
And I bet...
he did well.
Pedro, yeah, like I say, Pedro's and that guy's fast. We've put on there, could he be a title contender? Now, I don't think so. Personally,
he could be if he can keep that up.
But he's got the thing.
A little bit to make up.
I don't think he will.
It's that consistency, isn't it?
Can
he keep it up for a whole season?
Obviously, we know that Sam Lowes is famously good at going around that track. He still holds the lap record.
Yeah.
In Moto2. I'd like to say yes, because obviously I always want to see the Brits do well, but I genuinely don't think he's going to be a title contender, because I don't think he can do that every race.
No.
I'd love him to. I would be absolutely over the moon if he could.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's going to happen.
I mean, I'm just going to have a look here now at the championship standings. He is currently 31 points behind Pedro Acosta already. I know it's not a massive
It's
gap.
not massive. I mean, obviously, if Pedro was to come off and he was to win again, then he'd be... he'd be fighting again. I mean, where is the next meet? Oh, it's in Le Mans.
Oh, of course it is. It's a French one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, French GP. I mean, I don't really know massively how well Sam goes around there, but...
Didn't he win it? Because it was a couple of years ago. It was him and Jake Dixon were 1-2. And Jake was on for his first ever win, and then I think it's coming out the last corner, he just lost the front. And I think that's like the
a
closest
shame.
Jake Dixon has ever got to winning.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure he goes well around there, because that's the race I remember anyway. They were both at the front, and I was thinking, this is it. British 1-2.
I mean,
but yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed. If he goes well
I
around
really
there.
hope he does. I would love to see, like, obviously, one of the lads from the UK do really well. I always want them to. But we'll see. I'm not thinking he's going to be, but let's just see.
But I mean, his teammate Tony Arbolino is also on the same points as Pedro Acosta.
He is.
And
They're
I'd
matching
like to
now
see,
on 74, aren't they?
Yeah, I'd like to see at the end of the season Sam Lowe's ahead of Arbolino. I don't think it will happen, but I think he'd do himself a lot of favours if he was.
Yeah, I agree. That's weird. We're agreeing.
Yes.
Disappointing start for Jake Dixon. Obviously, he was up there. Qualified really well. But at the very start, he seemed to have got cut off on that first corner, and he must have let them through. Went back to 8th position, managed to claw his way back to 6th, finished in 6th, which I still think is an alright finish for him, considering. But he could have performed better.
Yeah,
He could have performed better. Because I was expecting a podium from Jake, really.
I mean, I haven't got Sam's thoughts on this, but I know that me and Sam are going to agree that he should have done a lot better. Because a podium is what he should have got at minimum, really.
Yeah, I mean, he should have. I was expecting him to get a podium. I was expecting Sam and Jake up there.
Yeah, he needs to be performing better in the races. I mean, his team won't get rid of him because he's probably their number one rider. But if he had someone like Arbolino as his teammate, I think he'd be massively under pressure.
Yeah.
He needs to, in the races, and I don't want to upset the Jake Dixon fan club, because obviously we don't know how much sacrifice he makes and how much effort he puts in and blah, blah, blah. But
yeah, I know what you mean. Obviously, I agree. Do you know what? Usually we don't agree on stuff with Jake Dixon, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think he should have definitely been up there on the podium, at least 3rd.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
he did well to get it back to 6th.
He did well to claw it back to 6th, but he qualified
but he
so well.
He shouldn't have lost it in the first place.
Obviously, hoping that Jake does really well for the rest of the season. Hoping that he can do really well in France.
Yes.
And hopefully we can see a bit more consistency from him in getting up to that podium, because he has got it in him.
He has got it in him. I think everybody knows he's got it in him. It's just,
and he knows he's got it in him.
Yeah.
And
once he's got that first one and the pressure's off, it'll be. Yeah, I think it'll take a lot of the pressure off.
Who do you think's going to win Moto2? I know obviously we did our predictions, but realistically, now that we've
honestly,
started,
I think it's going to be Pedro Acosta.
Yeah, I do as well.
I think it's his consistency that's going to win it.
But now, with KTM doing so well in GP, I think it'd be great for Pedro to go to KTM.
Yeah, last week I said about he should go on the Pramac Ducati. But now, I mean, if KTM can keep this up, he'd be stupid not to go there.
I think he'd be doing really well on a KTM.
Yeah.
And it'd be quite, like I say, I quite like the idea of him all going through on all KTMs. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, Red Bull rookies all the way to MotoGP. Red Bull KTM.
Obviously, we love the Brits to do well, and we want them to do well. But Pedro is awesome.
Yeah,
of course he is. He's Spanish, and he's on 2 wheels. I mean, it just happens, doesn't it?
Yes.
Obviously, we were speaking about Taka Nakagami in the sprint race, and we were also speaking about Ayagura.
Yes.
Who unfortunately crashed out.
He's not had a good start to the season, has he?
He hasn't.
Broken bones or something. He missed the first couple of races.
Because you were saying that LCR offered him a ride, didn't they?
Yeah, apparently they offered him a ride for this year, and he turned it down because I think he either wanted to win the championship or he just wanted another season in Moto2. And fair play to him, because I think that's a very
I think a lot of people
decision.
would have just gone, screw it, I'll go to MotoGP.
But now I'm thinking, because he's already a lot of points behind in the championship, should he have just taken that chance to go to MotoGP while he could?
Maybe.
Because, I mean, even at the end of this season, if he doesn't perform, it's not even a guarantee they'll want him next. I mean, it's more than likely that they will, but...
Well, yeah, because...
Tomcat Chantra as well. If he finished higher in the standings, would they want him instead?
Well, yeah. But I wonder where... Do you reckon Taka Nakagami would retire, or do you think he'd go somewhere else?
Nah, he's
Could
still...
you see him going to World Supers?
Maybe. But I don't think it'd be on a good bike.
It'd be on a Honda.
Well, I don't think it necessarily would. Wouldn't surprise me if he replaced
Tom Sykes on the dreaded Pichetti Kawasaki.
Yeah, but it'd be a team like that, I think, or even
Japanese bike.
Taz McKenzie's in that Honda that Taz McKenzie's on. Obviously not the Super Sport edition, but that team, Petronas Honda, whatever they're known as.
Yeah,
maybe there. Don't know, but he's. I think he's still quite young. He's still got a few years left in him.
How old is he? Without Googling, I don't think we'd know, would we?
No, I'm going to guess 26, but I'm going to Google it. He's 31, actually. He's older than I thought he would be.
Well, he's older than Marquez, isn't he? Marquez is 30, isn't he?
Yeah, pretty sure he is, yeah.
Well, that's sort of sums it up for Moto2, doesn't it, really?
That does.
There was Vietti crashed out though.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, it was towards the end, I think. So that's a shame for him, but obviously he's not fighting for a podium, so
yes,
it is what it is.
But the main race,
the main race, and I really enjoyed the main race.
You did. I thought it was good. I wouldn't say it was the best race, but it was certainly a good race.
Oh, I thought it was really good towards the end. I was thinking, come on.
Maybe it's because I was at work. Maybe that's why I wasn't enjoying it as much.
Yeah, maybe. No, I was on the edge of my seat for the last race. I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
Did
I make notes?
Yeah, Bagnaia won.
I made notes for this one. Oh yeah, I did make notes. I made notes on the thingy, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah, Bagnaia first place, but only just.
Only just.
I mean, he like I was saying, he was clever, I would say. He managed to sort of save his tyres, sat patiently behind, well, I'll say patiently, he was still keeping up with Brad Binder, who was in first for pretty much most of the race. But Binder just chewed them tyres up a bit too much. And obviously, when it got to, I think it was lap 5, that's when Bagnaia made his move, got past him. But Binder was staying with him regardless. I mean, to say he'd really worn out his tyres, he was really pushing it. And towards the end, I was thinking, bloody hell, is he actually going to go for it on these corners?
Yeah, I thought it was going to get him back.
But I reckon if he'd have pushed it a little bit harder on them corners, he probably would have wiped both of them out.
Yes.
Regardless, though, Binder, oh my God, what a ride. I know Bagnaia won, and he obviously, great for him. I like Bagnaia. I'm glad he did well. But for me, the winner there was Brad Binder.
Yeah, he was the rider of the weekend, wasn't he?
He was.
What a weekend he had.
He was so good. And obviously his teammate Jack Miller took third. Nice to see him on the podium. And both KTMs on the podium. I mean, that's...
Shame Pedrosa didn't get it.
I know. How good would that have been? That would have been awesome. But no, it was towards the end. It was so good. I was really enjoying it. Quartararo, I feel for the lad.
What a nightmare of a season he's having.
Oh God! I mean,
it's just unbelievable, isn't it?
See, I really like him. I think he's brilliant. I really like the way he rides, but Yamaha need to do something.
It's that bike.
It's the bike, innit? It's got to be, because Quartararo is usually quite consistent.
Yeah, I know they said they've given him more power and they've sorted the bike out over winter, but everybody's got more power. Everybody's got a better bike than last year. And they've just made a bigger step than Yamaha.
Yeah.
They haven't made a big enough step.
And obviously, unfortunately, when Quartararo went down, he took out Oliveira.
Yeah.
And who's obviously only just come back.
Yeah, it looked a nasty injury, that, didn't it?
Yeah, and he was getting stretchered into the back of the ambulance, wasn't he? He was holding his arm up.
Which we saw on the cameras again.
Receiving treatment.
Showing replay of...
Cheers for that.
Yeah.
I really think these guys should start listening and taking tips.
Yeah.
You know? Bloody hell. Stop
everyone's saying it. They shouldn't be showing it, but...
They do.
Anyway. They do. And we can't exactly stop them. We're a podcast with about 3 listeners, so...
Yeah, so that was a real shame for both of them, and obviously Quartararo, God, he must be absolutely kicking himself for re-signing with Yamaha.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have gone... I know, but I reckon if he'd had the option, he could have gone to some different rides.
Yeah, possibly.
If he hadn't gone with Yamaha.
Gone to KTM, maybe. I don't know.
Because obviously he's been a world champion.
I mean, what would you do? Say if you were Joan Mir, right, at the end of last season, your team pulled out, Suzuki. Would you rather go to an underperforming Repsol Honda where you're just going to struggle, or would you rather go to World Superbikes on, say, Kawasaki or Ducati?
See, the thing is with Joan Mir is he won that championship. And because he's done that, I think he obviously feels that he needs to stay in MotoGP because he has another shot at it. I don't know what to say about Mir because he is a good rider, but that Honda is terrible at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think...
To be honest, I think if you ever make the step to World Superbikes, it is going to be very difficult to come back to MotoGP.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think he has made the right choice of going to Repsol Honda. And if that bike suddenly they do find something and make it really good, he's made a really good decision. But I don't know, I can't see it.
Yeah, he's having such a mare with it. He's kind of like the same. It's like Quartararo. He's in the same position as him in Yamaha.
Yeah. Good rider on the wrong bike.
Yeah, and unfortunately, until they sort it out, they're not gonna get anywhere. I'd say at the moment, yeah, Repsol is probably the worst bike on the grid.
Yeah.
In MotoGP at the moment.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd say that. Never thought I'd say that in a million years. But there you go. Zarco, obviously Sam will be upset that Zarco crashed out.
Yeah.
And I was gutted to see Bezzecchi crash out as well because he was championship leader, and obviously I'm a bit biased because he's come through.
He didn't have a very good weekend, did he?
No, he's come through the VR6 Academy and he was doing so well, but I think he'll bounce back though. I don't think this will affect him.
Yeah, he's a young lad. He'll bounce back.
I think it'll be fine.
And Alex Rins as well.
He crashed out, but then he rejoined for a little bit, and then he must have retired because it said on the screen that he rejoined, and then later on in the race, I seen at the bottom it said Rins out, so he must have had a problem with his bike or something.
Oh, right. I didn't notice that. It must have been working.
Yeah, it did say he rejoined, and then later on it was like out. I was like, he must have just come off because his bike wasn't right. Yeah, oh god, yeah. I was just reading the doco there. Bagnaia with that move on Miller.
It was a bit aggressive, wasn't it?
It was aggressive, but at the same time, I don't think he deserved the penalty for it.
No. The stewards had a nightmare, I think, this weekend. They were ridiculous.
Just seemed to be like every little nitpick thing. They were just giving penalties out left, right and centre.
Yeah.
Because obviously it happened, he put his hand up, apologised. Miller obviously gave him a bit of a, I don't know, it looked like a wanker sign or something, I don't know. Obviously he wasn't happy about it, but then it was, I think, was it a couple of laps after? They were like, oh, it's come up on the screen, Bagnaia, long lap penalty. What?
I think he just had to drop one position.
Was that what it was? So it wasn't long lap?
Yeah, just to drop one position.
Yeah.
But even then, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it was. There was contact there, but it wasn't like Marquez contact wiping somebody out.
Yeah,
it was just a little bit of a sorry mate, that's racing.
Yeah,
and that's anyway. He had to move that position.
What was Quartararo's penalty for originally?
So.
Because he had his double long lap, didn't he? But
his
what
penalty,
was that for?
He had a nudge with somebody. I can't remember who it was for the life of me. He had a nudge with somebody. And
But apparently it was exactly the same as Morbidelli's. Exactly the same incident. Morbidelli could appeal his penalty, but Quartararo couldn't. But it was literally exactly the same.
yeah. Yeah,
and
it was.
There was no consistency there. And I honestly am beginning to think the stewards are just doing this sort of deliberately. You know, like in F1 when they try to be a bit controversial to get people talking, to get people interested. I've got a horrible feeling MotoGP's going down that route to try and get more fans in.
See, I don't really watch
Copying
F1, so
F1.
I'm not sure what they're doing it, but...
No, I don't either. But from when I used to watch it, I swear a lot of the time they were just making things up just to get people talking and being controversial. And I'm so worried that MotoGP's going down that route.
Yeah, well, they better not, because that would be just stupid.
None of the fans want it.
No, and I think the stewards need a good shake, and they need to be... They can't be as harsh as that. And we'll obviously move on to the... We were talking about Quartararo and his long lap penalty. Okay, so he got that. He got another long lap penalty because as he was coming out of the long lap penalty lane, his back tyre went over the track limits. I think that's too harsh because he was actually looking at the bikes coming past so he could come out of that lane and slot in to the race, which is the safe thing to do.
I get that, and I do sort of agree, but at the same time, you can see where to rejoin.
Yeah, but
you can still glance at where you're going.
Do you think he deserved another long lap penalty for that?
By the letter of the law, he didn't stay within the track limits on his long lap penalty.
But his back tyre went into it for literally half a second.
Yeah, I know, but it's that half a second that makes a difference. Half a second's a long time in racing.
No,
so I think,
I don't think he
needed
deserved that.
No, I think they were right to give him another long lap penalty. But at the same time, it is harsh because he was looking to see where it was safe to rejoin, but he should have probably just got his positioning right before he looked. I think, personally.
I think that was far too harsh. I mean...
I'm sure most people agree with you and not me on that one.
I mean, when you look at the width of the tyre, it was pretty much like halfway as well. It wasn't even fully in it. Like... Yeah. Oh God! It really, really annoyed me that because I thought he's having such a crap time. He had that long lap penalty to do, and then all of a sudden, oh, you're going to get another one, mate, because you literally just like put a cock hair in the fucking track limits as you were safely departing the long lap penalty lane to get in. I think it was a bit too harsh.
Yeah, and
I'd be raging if I was Quartararo. Absolutely raging.
Yeah.
But there you go. So yeah, as we keep saying, KTMs are so impressive. I'm really, really impressed with the KTMs.
Are you having a KTM fantasy at the minute? Are you?
Do you know what? It's because KTM have always notoriously been king of the dirt. They have always been the bike to have if you're scrambling. Obviously, I've seen some of the KTM engines going to speedway bikes as well, but they've always been king of the dirt. And to see them actually doing so well on the road now is really, really nice in a way.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, they have struggled, KTMs in MotoGP, and to get to where they are now and this year, the way they're performing, it's just I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean,
and I love the way the bikes look as well. I do love the look. I really like the look of the Red Bull KTMs. With the touches of orange.
Disagree on that one.
In fact, if I got a KTM RC8, which is pretty much it's like the only road bike for KTM, which is like a sort of the fully performance bike, I would have it with the livery that they've got. Because I think it just looks awesome.
No.
Why not?
I mean, it's not a bad livery, but it's not. It's more a Red Bull. I mean, if you look in, I don't want to keep going back to Formula 1 because I don't even watch it, but I've seen the Red Bull cars in Formula 1, and they look very similar.
Yeah, obviously they're gonna.
It's mainly the Red Bull colours that you're looking at, not so much KTM.
But you've got some
more orange in it, I suppose.
Cheeky little orange in there, you know.
I'm still not a massive fan.
Obviously this race, I was really expecting the Spanish riders would be dominating.
Yeah,
all
I was
weekend.
expecting to hear the Spanish national anthem all weekend.
Yeah, I was as well, and to be able to hear our national anthem.
Yeah,
and it's been
British
a while.
and Italian.
It's been a long time.
Yeah,
and it was really nice to hear. It was really nice to see the much loved riders within even within the reach of the podium. It was good.
Yeah, no, I was quite pleased it wasn't just Spanish.
Because it usually is.
Yeah.
Chuck the odd Italian in there.
Yeah. Usually at the end of the weekend, I'm sick of the Spanish national anthem.
I've just seen your cursor move on there. I just laughed.
Yeah, so I've just noticed this last bit here, which...
in the last lap, Maverick Vinales had a bit of a mare.
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it, so he looked down at his bike, and apparently it was possible chain snapping.
Oh,
which you wouldn't have thought would be happening in a race.
No, not at this level.
So, we'll maybe see something come out of that. Obviously, hopefully it'll be in the news, whatever actually happened.
Yes.
But yeah, chain snapping is, considering they're like a new chain.
Yeah.
Obviously, it could have been a fault with the chain. That company's obviously losing business, but there you go. If it was. Let's go back to Brad Binder then.
Oh, for God's sake.
Well, he was just so impressive, but we're going to go back to him. Do you think...
Is this the Brad Binder podcast?
No. It's just obviously, because obviously he's up there with points now. He's there. Do you think he is a contender for the MotoGP title?
Well, you got to say he is. I mean, he's in third position, and there's Bezzecchi who's 3 points ahead of him. I think he'll finish higher than Bezzecchi.
Do you reckon?
I reckon he will, but he's still like 25 points off Bagnaia.
But then that's only one race.
That is only one race. And to be fair, Bagnaia has got a habit of going down when the pressure's on. Brad Binder's fairly solid. You don't see him crash that often. If he can finish consistently well, I think he'll be a title contender. It's the consistency he needs.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think they've got it now.
But there's no reason why he can't.
No. I mean, he's got the best teammate he'll ever have. It will help him out no end.
Yeah.
He's got the best test rider, and he's probably on the best that KTM has ever been. This is probably the best chance he's got of the MotoGP title.
As long as he can keep it consistent, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, no silly mistakes, and have a bit of good luck as well.
Do you reckon that weird rear aero thing is actually doing anything for the KTM? Because it's the only one now that has the dodgy sort of. It's got it's the one that we first saw on Quartararo's bike, but sort of modified.
Yeah.
Because Quartararo doesn't even have a wing on the back anymore. Do you reckon it's helping?
Well, I mean, it must be doing something because of how well they're doing. But I mean, it just looks ridiculous.
It's got some sort of alien technology making the KTM's class.
Yeah.
Well, it's we shall see. Really,
I'm just looking at the standings here. That Maverick Vinales is the highest Spaniard in the standings at the minute, and he's fifth.
Bloody hell!
It's quite nice to see no Spanish in the top.
And this is what I mean. And this is what I don't get about you being so gutted about Marquez. Because if Marquez was on form, he'd be 10 seconds ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, but I'd like that.
But it's more interesting.
He's still ahead of Joan Mir.
It's just more interesting, though. I just find it so boring when Marquez would check out.
I understand what you're saying, but I'd still like to see... If Marquez came back and just started winning, I would love it.
Yeah, but you're a die-hard fucking Marquez fan, aren't you? So.
I don't say I'm die-hard, I'm just saying I like Marquez.
You absolutely bumming, but there you go.
Sorry, Mr. Rossi. Anyway.
Yeah, so that's basically covers the MotoGP then. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I would say that this was probably my favourite GP so far.
Yeah, this season, yeah, probably.
It was really, really good.
Considering it's Jerez as well, and I always just think Jerez is just a boring Spanish track. Yeah, I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, and we look forward to obviously France in a couple of weeks' time.
So now we've just got a bit of BSB to catch up on.
Right, well, you can take lead on this because I haven't really watched much of it.
So I'll just go over it quickly. So obviously in Spain it was like 50 degrees for the tyres. I flipped over to the BSB and it was cold and wet, raining at Oulton Park. So it's just complete opposite. I watched the qualifying. Josh Brooks was on pole and Storm Stacey got on the front row, which was really nice to see.
Yeah.
But the race itself, Jason O'Halloran had a really strange high side. I can't remember which corner he came out of, but it was... I don't know if it was really a high side, to be honest. It looked like a high side, but yeah. He's not had a great start to the season. I think he'd have wanted a better one. I mean, it's not terrible, but he'd have wanted a better start to the season than that. Impressed with Leon Haslam again.
Well, I was watching second. I did catch some of it, and I was looking at the standings of the championship, and Leon Haslam's in 6th.
Yeah.
Which is a lot better than I thought he would do.
Yeah, same.
Considering he's on the BMW.
So and they've only just made that team.
Yeah, it was nice to see that.
Yeah. And Josh Brooks won again. I think he's going to be the favourite for the title.
Oh, that'll please you then.
I like Josh Brooks. I like seeing him up there. I just don't want him to win the title because I'd rather a Brit win it, as you well know.
Yeah.
But I was impressed with Tommy Bridewell as well because he made up 10 places. He didn't qualify that well. But he made up 10 places from his starting position. I like Tommy Bridewell. I really want him to win the championship.
How did Hawk Racing get on? And obviously Dunlop was with him, wasn't as well, for Hawk Racing.
Yeah, I think he's getting warmed up for the road racing.
It's a shame we couldn't have gone to Oulton Park, really. We could have met Dunlop.
So Charlie Nesbitt came 11th. Josh Owens 16th.
11th is alright.
Yeah. And Michael Dunlop DNF'd.
Yeah, I did see that he retired, didn't he?
Did he pull in or did he crash?
I'm not sure. I just seen that he did DNF on the screen.
Yeah.
We should have gone to Oulton Park.
Nah. Danny Kemp finished 15th. I'm sure you'll meet him another time. Might be at Not Kill, you never know.
We could have stuck a Big Bad Bike Show sticker on his bike.
Yeah.
Sponsoring Michael Dunlop.
15th.
Who finished 15th?
Danny Kent. He was near the front when I saw him. But yeah, obviously something went wrong. And Glenn Irwin got 3rd.
Yeah, he's my favourite for winning it. He's not getting... Well, he's 3rd in the championship, though, isn't he?
Yes.
Is he still 3rd? Well, with Brooks and Haslam coming 1st and 2nd, he probably is if Irwin got 3rd.
I was 3rd in that race, but... Oh, he's second in the championship. Joint 2nd with Tommy Bridewell.
Oh, right, okay. I did see when they were starting the race, though, there was some people on wets and some people on slicks because it was starting to dry out.
Yeah.
After the was it the super stock? The juniors.
Yeah, junior super stock. I think.
Yeah, the junior super stock. They went out and it was actually quite wet. And then when they all went out, it really started to dry up. So there was a lot of people on slicks, which I was thinking, maybe you shouldn't be doing that. I would have definitely been out on wets on that track, I think.
Yes.
It was soaking.
Yeah, then we had an early red flag in the BSB race for the rain, which was a bit of a shame. I think there's only like a couple of laps left anyway, but yeah, it's a bit of a shame they had to finish with a red flag.
Well,
but obviously that's what we've got because we've only had qualifying in the sprint race today.
It's a race tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 races tomorrow, and all the other classes, British Super Sport, Super Stock 1000.
I caught a bit of the BMW 800
I didn't
race,
bother watching it,
which I know you're not keen on it, but the bikes looked awesome.
No.
It looked pretty cool. So yeah, that covers BSB, as Chippy has said. The races aren't actually until tomorrow. I'm actually a bit busy tomorrow. I'm probably not going to catch him.
I'll probably have to catch it up at work because Nicola's off tomorrow, so I'm going to have to...
Oh, is she?
walk the dog or something with her. Or
You're going to have to. So not that you want to.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I want to.
Definitely don't want to. So we may as well move on to next week then. What's going to be happening next week, which is the World Superbikes in Catalonia and the Northwest 200. World Superbikes, my prediction is probably going to be...
Let me guess. I bet we've both got the same prediction.
I reckon we have. What are you going for first?
For the Superbike, I think I might go with Alvaro Bautista
you know
to
what?
win.
I think I will as well. Second place, I'm probably going to go Johnny Ray.
Yeah. Well, either him or Toprak.
And then third, Toprak.
Yeah.
Super
Sport.
Super Sport.
Balega probably for Ducati.
100%.
I'll go for him to win.
As we were saying last
Super
week,
Sport 300, I haven't got a clue.
We do like watching the World Superbikes, but it is getting very samey. It seems to be the same people winning, which can get a little bit boring. But I do like watching the bikes because I like seeing
unless it's Marc Marquez.
Yeah. No, not Marc Marquez. We can't really cover the Northwest 200 that much. We would have been better off having Sam here for that.
Because neither of us really know much about road racing. To be honest.
know that I want to go and watch it at some point.
Yeah, I want to go.
In fact, Debs McKee that we mentioned last week, his house is on the track.
Oh yeah, it is. Isn't
He's
it?
literally on the track. He said so. He literally just had to go in his garden. He can watch the bikes.
Yeah, well, sweet talk him, and then we'll.
We'll
go. Actually, he might be listening to this.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, so Debs, we're coming to the Northwest 200 and we're going to stay at your house.
I always said he was my best mate.
What a guy! And the other thing we can look forward to next week is the King's coronation. And the only reason I'm looking forward to it really is because we get a day off.
Well, you do. I'm in work.
Yeah, well, that sucks to be you, but...
yeah, it does a bit.
Cheers our big Charles dog for the day off. I'm loving that.
It's 2 bank holidays in a row I'm working. That's not very...
Oh, don't cry.
It's just not cricket.
Just not cricket. I fucking hate cricket. Yeah, and so obviously it's the King's coronation. I'm probably going to watch it, to be fair.
Yeah, I'll watch it, definitely. It's going to be something special.
It's one of them, innit? You kind of got to watch it.
Yeah.
Even though they're spending absolutely billions of pounds doing it, but there you go.
Well, I don't really know the ins and outs of it, so I'm not going to comment. But yeah, well, I'm sure it's...
Other thing I'm looking forward to, obviously it's not next week, but the Isle of Man TT coming up. Really, really looking forward to that. I'm going to be getting...
You've bought the pass, haven't you?
I'm going to be getting it, yeah. It's just called the TT Plus Pass, and I think it's $19.99, and you get all the live action on there, and the it's on demand as well. So if you miss it, you can go back and watch it, a bit like with the Eurosport and the BT Sport app. Say again?
20 quid.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking
not bad, is it really?
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is, obviously, if I buy it and then you guys want to watch it on demand, you can just watch it. Just log in and watch it, rather than watch it live.
I don't think that's quite in the spirit of the TT Pass.
Probably not. But,
just taking money away from the organisers.
Because the only other way to watch it is you can watch it live and aired on ITV4. But the problem is, it's on at like midday, and it's during the week. It's not in the holidays, so it's difficult to watch it.
It might be on like ITVX or whatever they call it now, like ITV's iPlayer.
I believe they are having it on ITVX, yes, but that's only if you can only use that if you've got a TV license, and I don't need a TV license. I don't have one, so
I've got one.
Right, so what are you saying? I can have your login?
Well, no, I mean I can watch it.
Oh right, cheers. Oh yeah, there's me. Yeah, you can just have a login for my TT Plus Pass, mate. I'll pay the 20 quid. Oh, I can't have your login for ITVX.
No, you're not having my login for ITV.
Oh, cheers.
No, I don't share. Sorry. I'll use yours, but you're not using mine. It's the same with food.
Yeah.
I'll eat somebody else's, but nobody's allowed to eat my food. I'll kill him. Honestly, I would go mental if somebody stole a slice of my pizza.
Oh, I'm so going to steal some of your pizza one day.
Oh, I swear to God, honestly. Do you know what? I had a fried egg once and somebody stabbed it, broke the yolk, and it ruined my day. I was so angry. And they pierced a hole in my yoghurt pot before I was ready to eat it.
You used to put salt in Marps's tea.
Yeah,
but that was really funny. we used to nick packets of salt, didn't we, and just shove it in his tea.
Yeah. He kept drinking it though. He was so stupid. He just kept drinking it. It was like, it tastes funny. And then he'd just keep drinking it, and like the whole thing would be gone. It'd be like, didn't taste right. Just like, why did you drink it then?
Tastes like it got 3 tablespoons full of salt in it.
Yeah.
Oh God, I do miss that guy.
I do as well. What a guy.
So I suppose that sums it all up, doesn't it?
It does really. I mean, we've been recording for like just over an hour and a half.
Yeah. And considering we're only one person less,
yeah.
And let's face it, Sam can waffle.
He can. I mean, we have had a lot of news.
We have, yeah. But do you know what? I think this has gone fairly well.
It's gone fairly well, considering we haven't got Sam.
I was really worried that it was just going to be like we're just going to have loads of like, awkward silences.
Yeah. I mean, people might have switched it off at the start when they realised that Sam weren't here.
Yeah, probably.
Or...
This might be the one episode that Big Dazza doesn't listen to because Sam isn't here.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I can't wait for Sam's criticism of this.
Do you know what? I think he's actually quite going to like. I think he's going to like it. But obviously,
I think he'll like bits of it.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I'm going to have to plug the socials now, and usually I cock this bit up. So let's try it.
Yes.
So thanks very much, everybody, for listening. If you've managed up to this point, listening to me and Chippy waffle on about bikes, or at least try to. If you want to get in touch with us, you can email us at podcast@bigbadbs.co.uk. We're also on YouTube. Just search up the Big Bad Bike Show. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and then you won't miss any episodes. The Instagram page we have is the Big Bad Bike Show, all with hyphens in between. And like I said before, at the very start, the best place to get in hold of us or to chat to us or even get involved is our Facebook group, the Big Bad Bike Show. You can have a look at all our...
Well, you've can I just stop you there? You've missed our Twitter.
Did I?
Yeah, you didn't say Twitter. You went straight from YouTube to Instagram.
Oh, sorry.
Twitter,
yeah, the Twitter... But does anybody actually use the Twitter? So yeah, the Twitter is...
No, they don't actually.
At the Big Bad BS. And do you know what? Most of the time you won't even be able to find it because we can't. You got Sam's Twitter there, at Sober Gusano. Good luck finding that. My Instagram is the Up North Biker. Got some bits on there, different pictures of bikes and dogs and landscapes. And Chippy's Twitter at C_Ballard90. God, I hate your Twitter name.
I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure I can change it. I might change it.
I think you should. It's really weird.
Somebody can give me some suggestions of something good to change it to.
I've got a few.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
So that's it from me and Chippy. All that's left to say now is goodbye. And good riding just sounds too cringy, Sam. I'm sorry. We're not going to say that. So it's goodbye from me. See you later.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.